Let me ask you guys one question. How would you feel if the trust you put into somebody, from a repair standpoint, someone that you thought you could depend on, that would give you a reasonable price so you wouldn't break the bank? What if that repair person that you would take, let's say, your vehicles or your appliances or your electronic devices to be fixed and brought back to you better than ever, how would you feel if all of a sudden that trust came into question? Well, I'll tell you why. Well, I'll explain to you why I'm asking that question. You see, I'm asking that question because recently a friend of mine, and I'm going to describe them as such to not say too much, not to give too much away, due to personal reasons. But recently, a friend of mine let me know via email that they got something in the mail from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And it had to deal with something that happened locally. And what happened locally was their vehicle that they had taken to the repair person that they trusted for the past several years to fix their vehicle at a reasonable price so they wouldn't break the bank, someone that they consider maybe a friend, had caused something to happen to where they, my friend, if you will, my anonymous friend, basically had to basically pay for the damages. And what I'm talking about is the fact that the repair person, even though according to the local police departments and local city hall officials had been warned on several occasions not to do this, this repair person ended up parking my friend's vehicle in an area that they weren't supposed to park it in. In other words, I'll put it this way. There's like this, you know how towns or cities have these like little mini bench parks, right across from, let's say, restaurants or, supermarkets or places like that. Kind of like a little island on its own with a tree and a bench, if you will, or a picnic table. Well, basically what happened is the repair person that my friend had trusted to fix their vehicle throughout the past few years, and still trust them to do it because they are a good person. They are a good repair person when it comes to that. What my friend found out was the local police department where they live, and even City Hall themselves, had informed this repair friend of theirs on numerous occasions not to park any of the vehicles they were working on in this location, in that little picnic table park area that's across from their job, across from their business. They had told them this on numerous occasions, and yet they continued doing it. And what happened was basically, I guess, over the past several months, my friend found out that they were not the only one that was getting these bills in the mails, these repair damage bills, if you will, these citations for parking violations in the mail because of what the repair person that they thought they could trust was doing. So my friend informed me about this, and they basically said that in truth, even though the vehicle's under their name because of the registration and all that, and thus they're the ones that no matter how the parking violation was caused, that they were the ones that had to basically pay for it. My friend basically felt that the responsibility should fall upon the person that caused it, which was the repair person. So now, my friend informed me that next time they take their vehicle to this repair person, because they still trust them to fix their vehicle correctly because they're that good and they always give them a reasonable price, that next time they're going to insist that they remain there, or they're going to insist that they get their vehicle back the same day because they don't want to go through this again. They don't want to have to deal with this kind of crap ever again. And on top of that, even though they're still going to take the vehicle back to the mechanic because they trust the work they do and they get reasonable prices, there is one thing that now they look at as having a question mark, and that is trust. In other words, can they trust this repair person, this mechanic, if you will, to fully tell them the truth from now on? Because they even asked me, in the email, why didn't this person tell me that I thought I could trust to be truthful with me? Why didn't they tell me about this situation? Why didn't they tell me about this citation? And I basically tried to give them an answer as best as I could. And my response is that maybe they got so accustomed to parking vehicles in those areas that they probably didn't realize that they were repeating themselves over and over again despite getting numerous warnings. Now, in defense, obviously, and my friend even said this in the defense of the mechanic, of the repair person, that basically this guy, if you will, has so much on his mind because he has so many vehicles he has to fix. His business is located in a small section of the city, or near the outskirts of the city, or going on to the outskirts of the city, that they get so overwhelmed that they don't have the help they need, that, because of all this, they potentially forget maybe about a lot of things that, that's going on. That they either potentially forget about warnings given to them, they forget about, certain things like keeping receipts around, stuff like that. And that's understandable. A lot of us go through that. A lot of us that have a lot on our mind will tend to forget about things. I've been at fault about that. My friend's been at fault about that. Everybody in my family's been at fault about that. So it's nothing new. But the thing is, this guy is running a business where everybody has pretty much, if you look on Yelp, for a business like his, has given him 5 stars and said that this guy is one of the best locally to take your car or your vehicle to be fixed, because they will always make sure you get a reasonable price and the job is done right and the right parts are put into place in replacement or put into place to replace the ones that need to be replaced, if that makes any sense. But yeah, again, I gotta ask you though, what are your thoughts on that? How do you feel about the fact that if you were in my friend's shoes, if you were in my anonymous friend's shoes, how would you feel if the person you thought you could depend on and trust from a repair standpoint, suddenly, that trust came into question, and even though you'll still take your vehicle or your appliance or your entertainment device to go get fixed and all that, knowing that they'll give you a reasonable price and they'll do a heck of a job, making it feel like it's newer than ever, how would you feel that despite considering taking it back to them, knowing all that part of that trust is now in doubt? How would you feel? Let me know what your thoughts are down below, because I'm sure a lot of us deal with that. But let me know what your thoughts are down below. Comment if you like, and I'm out.